Ciao ragazzi, my name is Anthony. Welcome back home. Welcome back to Inter Worldwide. I hope everybody is doing well. Let me just make sure I've got something nicer in the background than this because there's too much of my face showing on this screen right here. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just change the overall outlook. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Little bit of business to take care of in terms of the fact that we actually did have a little bit of activity as this market ends. We've got 15 people on Inter Worldwide. Great amount to start a video. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you are new, and everyone should be able to hear me extremely well at the moment because I jigged the settings on the microphone that was giving me a tiny bit of grief, and it should be a lot more consistent sound-wise. It should be a lot more consistent sound-wise. Big up, Boca. Yo, bro, what's good from Philly? I hope things are good in Philly. I can just tell you quickly, the closest I ever came to going to Philadelphia was when I was in the United States in 2008 with my family. I was in New York City, and my mom and my sister went on a day trip somewhere, and my dad really wanted to see Hell's Kitchen in New York City, and he also wanted to see the Philadelphia Steps for Rocky Balboa. My dad's geography is poor, so when we went to the station, Central Station, he was like, son, we might go to Philadelphia. And we went up and realized it was like a 3.5-hour train. And my dad's like, bun that. We are not going to Philadelphia. Son, are you hungry? Loved it, loved it, loved it. What's up, Balkan Warrior? What's going on? It's going to be a nice cruisy stream. It's going to be a nice cruisy stream. Let's take the red and black trim out of the frame. Mateo would be seething in his Serbian sweatshirt. Oh, man. Guys, thanks for coming by on the channel. I hope that you guys will stick around in the next couple of months because I got some exciting new content coming, exciting new stuff to bring onto the channel, some different stuff, not just current Inter stuff. I'm looking to do a couple of things down the retro route, and just be patient with me because if I'm passionate about it and I think it's enjoyable, I have no doubt that this community will think it's enjoyable. The best sort of content is the content that is not forced and that just comes to you. So hopefully those who enjoyed an era of Inter in the turn of the millennium, early to mid 2000s, really enjoy the content that I've got planned for us. And hopefully if all things technology work out, there'll be an extra piece of content that I'm so excited to bring out, but I'm struggling with it a little bit and I can't really talk about it much more. But what we can talk about today is the end of the market. Now, I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but these days, I feel like the time that the market ends is a lot shorter than what it used to. Is a bit more extended than what it used to be. That being that deadline day technically isn't until midnight of the 2nd. The whole day of the 1st of February is open around Europe. It didn't used to be like this. It used to close midnight the 1st. If you didn't have your shit done by 11:59 p.m. January 31st, market was done. Brother, it's 11 a.m. on the 2nd of February in Sydney. We're open. We're open to the point where deadline day coverage actually hasn't started. in the European punditry world. It hasn't even started. No one is talking about deadline day coverage yet. They've started to put the photos out. They've started to run their articles, but no one's actually covering the 24/7 round the clock deadline day. Why? Because they're going to start doing that in about 12 to 16 hours time. And they'll cover 24 hours. And before you know it, we'll be midway through February 3rd, and clubs are still getting deals over the line. I'm pretty sure Turkey have an extra 24 hours after that. In fact, you can still sign free agents as up until mid-February as well, and register them for this season. You can still sign players after February, but you won't be able to register them until the next campaign. Oh, well. Anyway, moving forward to what we are going to discuss today. There are three main topics to talk about. The first one is the official signing of Zalewski. We will talk about that first. The second is the weird number and move that Tejan Buchanan was able to make to Villarea. And big ups to him because he didn't really do anything to earn that sort of move. Let's see how he does there. And third and lastly, if there is a day to a day and a half of activity left, we've got a day to a day and a half to get Arnautovic to Firenze and bring in a replacement. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Marko Arnautovic is probably our best option for the rest of the season as a replacement forward, as shit as he is. Because bringing in someone to replace him now would be just as risky, if not more risky, than keeping Marko on the books a bit longer. As sad as that is. But it is what it is. Let's have a little look at Twitter. I didn't prepare any slides or anything today. So let's just go straight to you know what. And let's have a bit of a look-see. So Zalewski, official, taking the number 59. This is our announcement video. 59 is a number. It comes between 58 and 60. Wow. We are an educative club. It is an odd number and a prime number. Wow. Some serious maths lessons going on. What is the point of this? This is our announcement, isn't it? Fucking hell, bruv. We're on a different thing sometimes, bro. We are on a different things. We're on a different thing sometimes, man. We are on a different thing. What's going on to Paolo Sacconi? Guys, I'm very happy because we are getting new subscribers to this channel all the time. It's not many, like it's not shitloads, but I wake up every day and almost every second day, there's a new subscriber or two new subscribers to the channel. And that makes me so happy because I've reached a point in this channel where I no longer care about publicity. I've got the community that I wanted, and anybody else here is just a bonus. So Paolo Sacconi, welcome, brother. Welcome to Inter Worldwide. You are from the city of Milano. What's the vibe? What's the current trend? Are people confident? Are people walking around the city knowing that we're not going to cough up a third game straight to these bastardi? No way. Calabria is out the door. Cosensao is in the pits. Morata is gone. They're splashing the money on Jimenez. It's a mess. We need to deal with this mess. I'm not tolerating anything else. I'm not tolerating it, Paolo. Not tolerating it, mate. Anyway, this announcement is full of shit. Zalewski is off to Inter. Good luck from everyone here, Nicola. Now, this is a good deal for us. What's this highlight here? Does he whack this? Oh, crap. This ain't going to be a good highlight, is it? Oh, damn it. Anyway, that never happened. Here he is arriving at the airport with his tired or drunk agent. Yeah, they have been very lucky. We are confident. So this deal overall is quite a good one for us, and I will explain why. I'm sort of paraphrasing from Uncle Sharma, but he said everything that was on my mind as well. So if you're looking for a much better match preview, definitely go over to Uncle Sharma's channel and keep a lookout on his channel because I have no doubt his awesome scouting report on Zalewski will come into shape soon. The big thing about Zalewski is that he's played double-digit games for Roma this season. He's played over 800 minutes altogether for the club. He is warm. He's warm. He's warm. You know, Buchanan's not only unfit and injured, he's cold, bro. His muscles are cold. Everything is cold for Buchanan. The Buchanan move to Villarea, like I said, it's a good one, man. He takes a number 9 for some reason. He's going to be hugging the flank in a number 9 forwards jersey. And Villarea is a good move for Buchanan. Let's see how they plan to use him. Let's see how if he gets any minutes at all this season. Because it's weird. Like, I know that Villarreal defends sort of like a mid-range block. I don't watch much La Liga, but I know the style of play for most of the main sides. And I know that they're a pretty balanced team. Villarreal, they're a pretty balanced team. Now, I'm not actually sure if they are in the Europa League. I'm pretty sure that they are. Unless they had a season so bad last season that they skipped European. I'm looking at their fixtures. I don't see European fixtures on the horizon for Villarreal. They must have bombed hard last season. Yeah, they really did. They're fifth in La Liga at the moment. And in terms of, just by looking at their squad, like as I said, I don't really know who's playing the most minutes, but I know that they sit in like a mid-block sort of thing. They love a good counter-attack. And the thing about Buchanan is that he'll be made to defend a lot more there than he ever would have at Inter. Made to defend a lot more. So definitely keep an eye on Buchanan's defensive growth at Villarreal. Definitely keep an eye on... basically, he's the sort of player that we're not going to ask for much money, even if he improves a little bit. So if we bought the guy for about 9 mil, 10 mil, I think, altogether, if we can get that money back or a little bit extra, just do it. Just do it. So hopefully he stat pads his way to a couple of assists. Assists will be a big thing for him to redeem that. Villarreal won't look too kindly at paying that sort of money. Keep in mind, a club like Villarreal paying 10 to 12 mil is like us paying 23 to 25, and like a club Man United playing like 55, 60. Everything in context, everything in relativity to the economic strength of each club. Buchanan, I wish him the best of luck. It hasn't worked out at Inter. It probably never was going to work out at Inter, and let's be honest, it never is going to work out at Inter for the brother. So if we can get that cash back, we will. Zalewski, on the other hand, comes with more Serie A experience after growing up in Roma's youth academy. Has been playing first team Serie A from the start of this season. I think maybe 1 or 2 games last season as well. I'm not... Oh, no. He would have played a bit more last season, actually. He would have played a bit more last season. He's played for the Polish national team since 2021, I believe, because he was playing in this... He was called up for the squad in the 2022 World Cup or the 2021 Euros, something like that. He's played competitive football for Poland. His style of play, his main position would be a left midfielder, left wing back, dropping back a little bit further. At the same time, you can honestly expect this guy to be the replacement for Federico Di Marco. We've seen Augusto get shifted to left center back a little bit more often. And that's very nice of you, Mattia. Thank you. The Uncle Sharma is 50 times more competent than I am because he's a gentleman who's able to shift his emotions to the side to speak logically. So unfortunately with me, you're probably going to get 30% more emotion than you'd get from someone else. And a lot of the time it's not correct. And, as men and as human beings, we need to put our hand up and acknowledge if we are emotional people, that we do make mistakes. And sometimes we're not 100% focused on what we're doing. TJ will not return. I bet he was a flop signing. I would also call him a flop signing. And I do believe that he will not return. Nick's Knox is in the house as well as 21 other people. So like the video, subscribe if you are new. And hey, if you want to be a really nice person, if you want to do your charity act for the day, you can head over to Devils Down Under because I'm going to be live straight after this to talk about Manchester United and their deadline day activity, which is probably going to consist of Marcus Rashford leaving the club. Absolutely bizarre scenes going on at Manchester United. So I'm going to link my channel in the description right now. I would greatly appreciate if after this live, anyone wants to just literally head over and say the word hi, boo, Manchester United, as Mattia would say, boo earns, boo ban, absolute booage of the highest caliber, but we will be there either or. Going back to us now. The Zalewski deal is a very good one because we actually forced Roma's hand to extend this guy's contract. And that was not a smart move by Roma. The only smart thing they did was ensure that if Inter wants to if they want to make any money off this guy, which will be all green money, all green because he's a youth product. Very important to know that. A lot of us, knew that already. He is a youth product, meaning that you can't lose. You can't lose here. Good for them, but also very good for us because it means that we could lowball them to the shit because his contract was running down. And when a contract runs down, you are screwed to the highest level He was good after under Mourinho. He was good under Mourinho. So at least expect application and tenacity. So more importantly, we forced Roma's hand to extend this contract, because if he didn't extend the contract, they wouldn't have loaned him out. They wouldn't have loaned him out, because they'd be like, well, all you're going to do is play football somewhere else, not renew with us. And then that you're going to spend the next 5 months. You're going to spend the next 5 months, and this is probably what's going to happen, Darian. And you know what's going to happen, bro? We are going to use this money on Zalewski. Thank you, Darian, because you're literally leading into the point that I'm going to make. Had he not extended with Roma, he just would have negotiated to whatever club he got loaned to and going, yo, not only am I here to help you guys for the next 4 months, you've got me for free. So let's start the negotiating now. I'll extend with you guys. Or if my loan club wants to fuck me around, I'll be a free agent at the end of this anyway. Roma had to extend, and a very good chance is that we've gone to Roma, shook their hand and gone, whatever we get for Buchanan, we are giving to you. If it's 7 million, you're getting 7 million. If it's 8 million, you're getting 7 million. If it's 9 million, you're getting 7 million. Darian is so on point that I know for a fact the offer for the Zalewski will be in between 6 to 8, 6 to 7.5 million. And Roma will take it, because they extended him, I think, by 3 years, 2 or 3 years. It wasn't a huge extension, but the extension's only really gone through in the last 24 hours. In fact, I'm going to look it up again. Extends with Roma. Yep. So the ultimatum was basically given. Sign an extension for the 23-year-old, or else you leave for free. Marseille were ready to offer 6 mil, but he's keen to stay in Serie A. So yeah, unless this guy absolutely tanks his ass, unless he tanks his mum really, really hard, it means that he will go back to Roma and they will find a solution there. I highly doubt he is going to tank it here. But yeah, if TJ does return, we will look at offers, very minimal offers. We will look at offers that make sure that we can redeem Zalewski, and then we've got our backup to DiMarco. We can see Carlos Augusto being shifted into that left center back role a lot more than usual, and so be it, because he's trustworthy. The manager trusts him for that. He's a professional. He's a damn good footballer. Let's get one thing straight. If we can appreciate anybody indirectly for this transfer, it's Carlos Augusto, because he actually plays a role in this happening. Carlos Augusto being that makeshift center-back means that we can actually pick a replacement correlated more directly to Federico Di Marco than holistically to the left-hand side. I'll repeat that one more time, because even as I'm saying it, it makes sense to me. Carlos Augusto's adaptability to left center-back is a huge reason why this transfer has been able to happen smoothly and comfortably. Augusto is a very, very good footballer. He's very good at applying himself. He's part of a dying breed. He's a sort of player you know you're going to be able to trust for fucking 5 to 10 years. Augusto is that good. He's that good. It just so happens that DiMarco is even better the way that we want to play. If you really want to deep it, I'm happy to have a full-blown debate about how Carlos Augusto is a better footballer than DiMarco. Overall, much better defensively. Overall, just a better player. More in his arsenal, better characteristics. Carlos Augusto is a better overall footballer for than DiMarco. In this system under Inzaghi, applied to Inter, a club where DiMarco bleeds and grew up in, DiMarco is contextually the better selection than Carlos Augusto. I hope I'm making sense. And if people are watching this video now or watching it back, I'd love for you to comment on what I'm saying now. I would love for you to comment on what I'm saying about Carlos Augusto overall just being a better footballer than DiMarco, but full credit. See, the credit levels are huge in our club at the moment, because you can't credit Augusto without crediting DiMarco, without crediting Inzaghi, without crediting Marotta. And this is where Inter at the moment is doing very well. This is where Inter at the moment is outperforming our rivals in the league. The system is well-oiled. The players play for the front, not for the back. Big up King Peanut, who's a new here. Big up Jamie Drummer, who I haven't seen here in a while. This channel is still going well, and I love it. This is my home. This is my community. Sorry to be that sort of asshole, but if you are new here, head over and give me a hand on Devils Down Under as well, because I know you all hate Manchester United. So see me sook about them. It's good. It's a good way to pass the time. Good way to pass the time. I'd love for Carlos to get the Brazil call up, but I'm sure you're noticing, Darian, undeserving players get the call up to Brazil the last 3 to 4 years. Big reason why they're underperforming on the main stage. I hate Juventus more than anything, and I don't like Gleison Bremer, but Gleison Bremer was overlooked centre back for Brazil the last 3 to 4 years when he should have been tattooed in 3 years ago before he made a transfer from Torino. The selection process at La Salle is actually disgraceful at the moment. Disgraceful. Funny. But you know what I mean. Everyone sort of knows what I mean here. Augusto's ability to shift into a makeshift left center back has opened up the idea that DiMarco doesn't need to be in that role. DiMarco can now firmly focus on his main role, which he is the best in Italy, and possibly Europe at. And now, holy shit, another one. Something's going right. Something's going right over the last 48 hours. I don't know what it is, but we've ended up with like 11 new subscribers, and you're all commenting and you're all active. So I can't even express how overjoyed I am. I'm not the sort of guy that wants to get hundreds of subscribers before I go, oh, look, the channel's doing well. Fuck that. I get 1 or 2 subscribers that comment, and I am overwhelmed with joy and gratitude. And that's the Aussie coming out of me, man. Full of gratitude and appreciation. Joe from New York. Another plus of Zalewski is that we will have a ready-made replacement when Darmian fades out. Well done. Benvenuti. Joe. Giuseppe. No, it's probably not Giuseppe. Maybe it is Giuseppe. It just opens us up a lot more. This Zalewski transfer. DiMarco doesn't ever have to worry about being a makeshift centre back. Augusto can now focus on being a makeshift centre back and the third choice fullback. The only problem with this is that next season, if Bastoni stays ridiculously fit and DiMarco does as well, fingers, toes, earlobes crossed, that Carlos Augusto doesn't come out, and rightfully so, come out and go, oi, where's my field time? I need to make the World Cup. I need to make Brazil. So great comment from Darian, because God forbid Augusto doesn't get a call up next season. That's when we'd start to worry about other clubs coming in for Carlos. But let's focus on the positives today and the fact that this is just such a typical Marotta move, like Jamie is saying. Low risk, high chance of success, even if there is no success. But this guy's an Inter player now. We are not going to let this guy slip for 6 or 7 million. Because even if he has the shittest half season ever, he's got the vote of confidence from Jose Mourinho. He's got the vote of confidence from Roma. Maybe not the last year, but he had the vote of confidence. This is a very good transfer. These are the sort of transfers that you wake up to as an Inter fan and you go, fuck, man, I love when it makes sense. I love when it makes sense. Dollars, not cents, baby. Absolute dollars, not cents. So let's keep stacking dollars, man. Let's keep stacking dollars, man. I absolutely love it. I love this transfer. I love the low risk. I love that the Twitter feed is just doing everything for me, and I just need to scroll down post by post. And you know what? I like him already because A, he suits our colors. B, he's got nice tattoos. Although I always get excited when we sign players that don't have tattoos, just in case that, they've still got more of their head screwed on, like a Mkhitaryan sort of deal. Big up Mattia and Anthony. Keep up the great work, and thanks for creating this great Inter community. Big up yourself for being a part of it, because I can't do shit without you people. I can't. I'm just from Sydney, man. And I hate saying stuff like this, but my time zone puts me behind everybody else advantage-wise, man. I'd love nothing more than to be able to wake up every day and bring you guys the news at a good time. But hey, we've got people like that. We've got people like the Zil Sharma to do that. A Polish player being at Inter as well, already a +2. Zalewski. Very, very good. I can't wait. I can't wait to see them on the pitch together. Yeah, I'm sure that they'll connect well. Great way for him to be in the club. Maybe Zielinski can cook him some potato pancakes or some, what's it called, bro? So the filled dumplings, man. The Polish dumplings. I don't know what they're called, bro. I don't know what they're called. I don't know if they're similar to the ones I had in Hungary when I was hungry in Budapest. but Polish wise, I'm not very familiar with the cuisine. Is I forget what it's called. I forget what it's called, man. I forget what it's called. Anyway, I'm not gonna even try and remember what the food was called that I ate. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I bet you are teaching them a lesson. I bet you're doing a whole bunch of shit, Mattia, in Serbia at like midnight in Serbia or late Saturday night. Apparently, Mattia has a lesson on a Saturday night in Serbia. Yeah, undercover mafioso. I'm telling you right now, everybody thinks Mattia's all nice because he's got this big smile a lot of the times. Like, oh, look at me. I'm Mattia. I speak politely. Come on. Big ass gang tattoo from the top of his spine to the bottom of his spine. I'm telling you right now, proper mafioso in Belgrade. Who can replace Taremi and Arnautovic next season? Let me finish this and I'll get to that in a second, my brother, because the last thing to speak about today was the failure of getting Arnautovic out of the door. But that's okay. That's okay. We don't always need to get everything right, because we are getting to that point now where it no longer completely benefits us to let Arnautovic leave. And you might think that that's absolutely crazy putts, or sack Anthony right now, Anthony out for even saying that. But I'll tell you in a second when we get to it why I believe that that is true, and why there reaches a point in time where you need to bite the bullet and say, we've missed the boat here. We've missed our opportunity here. This is what we have. This is what we've got to cook with. We still eat lunch with these tools today. We still eat lunch with these ingredients today. So Zalewski, done. Very good. That's a nice photo. I should have used that one for the thumbnail, actually. That's a sexy photo. Gotta love these photos these days, and the AI and the renders that come out. Zalewski, out of 10. Drop it in the comments. What do you give this transfer out of 10? For me, it gets a solid 7.5 with potential to move up to an 8.5 and 9 if he plays minutes and we win the Scudetto. If he plays minutes and we make a Champions League semi-final. Can he be registered for the Champions League squad? When is the cut-off date to register Champions League squads? Can he be registered? Buchanan was in the squad. Buchanan was in the squad. Buchanan was in the squad. Perfect. An article that came out 12 hours ago on UEFA.com. Can January signings play in the knockout phase? Is that showing on the screen? Let's go. Another one. Guys, make sure you like the video and subscribe if you're new, because I feel like we've got 6 or 7 new active subscribers just on this stream. And if that's the case, then that's just brilliant. My heart is exceptionally full. Exceptionally full. Epic win. Epic win for the channel today as well. 3:30 a.m. here. Where are you, bro? Classes tomorrow, and we're here welcoming the best Polish Inter player. The best Polish Inter player. Even better than Zalewski. Okay. 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 Okay, epic win. Epic win for you if you get that right. What are the rules on January signings? Teams remaining in the UEFA Champions League, Europa League, and Conference League are allowed to register a maximum of 3 new eligible players after the competition of the league phase and before the start of the knockout phase. Additionally, clubs participating in domestic competitions that start and end in the same calendar year are entitled to an additional player. Okay. So on the 6th of February, people need to submit European squads again. 6th of February. So we've got about 4 days. 4 days. He will be registered. We will register Zalewski for the Champions League. We're probably going to register Joaquin Correa as well. Now's a good time to talk about the other situation on our hands, the one that hasn't solved itself. And now we're at the point where it's not going to solve itself. The way it will solve itself is by ending, by expiring. That's the way it will have to end itself. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Arnautovic staying apparently on Twitter. The latest is that he's reiterated his interest in Fiorentina. The Viola will try and attack in the last 2 days of the market. A complicated operation without a replacement for Inter. How are we going to get a replacement in? How are we going to get a replacement in so quickly? How? It's not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen. We're too late. We're too late to make it work, you know? We need to stop caring about it. Why should we care, you know? A noi che frega. We can't care. Why? Why should we care? Stop caring about him leaving because it's the 2nd of February. His contract is over in 4 months. He will leave at the end of this season. We don't need to worry about it anymore. The reason why I'm speaking about this with chest is that we've run out. We've run out of time. You will not replace Arnautovic, and he still isn't the worst selection at this point. I know he's not a good selection. I know he's not a great selection. I know he stinks. But we are in February. Our season ends in May. He knows what's expected of him. If he falls short physically, if he falls short ability-wise, there's nothing else we can do about it because there is nobody you are going to get in January that is less risk. Who's going to come in January and do the job that Arnautovic is supposed to do for 4 months? It's just as risky, and then you open up another can of worms. Are we getting in someone else on loan? Do we have to put an option or an obligation? Do we need to put cash up front? Is Arnautovic going to be loaned to Fiorentina and score 3 goals in 4 games? Meanwhile, we sit here looking at the bench going, shit, Correa can't do shit. As much as I want Arnautovic gone, and he will be gone, we have run out of time. We've run out of time. I'd love it if what the chat's saying is true. And by the way, Saudi Arabia, I've been here for time, just to silently enjoy it. I love it. Thanks for staying active, bro. Keep active. That's not going to happen. Even if the part of me says that it could happen because Giuntoli is a disgrace, Juve are embarrassing. And if what was happening at Juve was happening at any other major club in the country, there'd be a 30-page spread across tutto shit and Corriere della Merda, and everyone would be slagging them off. But it's Juve, yeah? Relax. Special privilege. Nothing is wrong in Turin. They all shit sunshine and they fart rainbows. That's the status always. I would love to have Berardi. I wanted Berardi at the start of the season. And yeah, that's exactly what will happen, Mossab. Arnautovic scoring against us in that game in hand is nightmare stuff to consider. Nightmare stuff to consider. So nah, it's not going to happen. There are too many variables to getting Arnautovic out to Fiorentina on the 2nd of February 2025. There are too many variables. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. I refuse to believe it's going to happen. Happy to be wrong in this situation, as I'm always happy to be wrong about things that end well for Inter, but I can't for the life of me see how in the next 12 to 16 hours, we're going to get Arnautovic out the door, which leaves us with less than 24 hours to replace him. Once again, I'd love to be wrong, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, guys. Not going to happen. All right. Anything else? Nah, nothing really else to talk about. I was seeing if there was anything else to discuss for now before we move on to derby discussions. There's still 23 people, 25 people actually. Make sure you like the video. Subscribe if you are new. Inter are still the champions of Italy, and make sure you remind everybody and make sure nobody forgets it. That's for damn sure. One more comment on the Villarreal thing. You know, Marcelino, the coach, good for him to get a fresh new addition. I'm just so curious as to how the Submarines are going to play him. I'm just so curious because they've given him the number 9, so they clearly expect some sort of impact. You don't sign up a player on loan with the number 9 and go, all right, you're sitting the bench every game unless we really need you. You know, you're trying to market the guy here. You're trying to extend the guy here. You're trying to sell some jerseys. If you're not trying to sell jerseys, why are you giving brothers the number 9? Be honest. You give numbers like that when you want to sell shirts. So start selling some shirts. Start selling some shirts is what I would say. Derby time. Derby della Madonnina. Derby di Milano. It is time. Third one of the year. I'm going to continue my streak of optimism going into this fixture, even though it has come around to kick me in the side of the head with steel cap boots every single time. But this time, it has to be ours. I know it's not our home game. Yeah? And I know that Milan are 2 out of 2 for us this season with a trophy to go with it. But guess what? I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit, bruv. This is ours. It is ours because guess what? I'm happy to put my hand up and say this. You fuck this one up. You lose or you simply don't win this game and Napoli beats Roma, it's over. It's legitimately over. Napoli and Antonio Conte will be champions of Italy if they beat Roma and we don't beat Milan. If you're telling me that there will be 16 games left in the season for Conte, it's 15. 15 for Conte, potentially 19 to 20 to 21 for us, and we need to make up games on Napoli, talk to someone else. Talk to the wall. Talk to the hand, as you would say when you're a kid growing up and someone's annoying you. Talk to the hand, because the face ain't listening. And this face ain't going to listen to anyone that still thinks Inter are going to win the Scudetto if they don't beat Milan this week. Beating Milan is a must. We have to beat these bums because they are still bums. Hakan potentially to start. 2-0 for Inter, forza sempre. I refuse to believe that we will not win one derby this season. They have just let Morata go. And I know he wasn't great, but that disrupts them. Jimenez, great signing. I like him. I wanted him at Inter. He's just arrived. Even if they do decide to play him, good. Muscle him out of the game. Show him what Serie A defense is about. Show some balls. Big cojones required from this game from Inter. It should be a slap up. It should be a mauling. We should absolutely bend them over and do you know what. And I don't usually speak like this. I'm the sort of guy to anti-jinx Lecce, anti-jinx Empoli. I'll anti-jinx fucking Pordenone in the Coppa Italia next season if I need to. But this, after the Super Cup, after the last league game, winning is the only thing that matters this weekend. The only thing that matters this weekend is 3 points against these. Oh, I was about to say the C word live on air. Can't do that, even though it's normal in Australia. All right. Conceição took over from Fonseca. They got smacked by Motta's Juve, so they suck because Motta's Juve suck. They went to Croatia needing 3 points to qualify for the top 8. They couldn't do that. Anyone remember that disgusting result that we had against PSV? PSV. Under Spalletti, bro, I took a sick day from work to do a watch along on the old Inter Worldwide channel on that. You can actually see me sitting on the floor in my parents' house. PSV 1, Inter 1 in a game where all we needed to do was go there and win. Fucking cowards. The cowardly day of Spalletti's reign. However, Milan had their own PSV last week. That trip to Zagreb and not being able to win is disgusting. If I was a Milan fan, I would have been burying my head in the blankets and I wouldn't have come out yet. We've got 36 people here on Inter Worldwide right now. I don't know whether it's just the timing of the video or the fact that it's a Saturday night or the fact that it's borderline deadline day or the fact that people have just flocked to this channel a little bit. Or to be honest, I'm probably getting some beautiful backsplash off Uncle Sharma's hard work. But we are here with 36 people on Inter Worldwide and that makes my Sunday. That makes my Sunday. And how good's the background looking? The background looks better because I added an LED light. And now everyone can see the Campione 19, the Campione 20. Il numero 9s everywhere. Everywhere. From the phenomenon to the most beautiful smile in football history. Not you, Rafael. Not you, Lionel Messi, whenever you decided to smile. The most beautiful smile in football history belongs to a certain Argentine forward who low-key is one of my favorite players. And that's one awesome piece of content that you guys can look forward to. A nice, awesome tribute to Hernan Crespo is coming out on this channel soon. And it's going to be the start of heaps of beautiful content and tributes to an era of Inter that I fell in love with. Hernan Crespo's long, greasy hair and beautiful smile is one of my first loves in football. And at the risk of sounding more homo, I don't care what anybody says. He's just the most beautiful attacker to ever grace this planet, expression-wise. Expression-wise. Yeah, look, no. Milito was better for us. We won more. But the sheer joy across Hernan Crespo's face when he scored and the sheer joy that he played football with was a big part of why I fell in love with football. He's a player, and I want people to go and read his story of him sitting down and looking at his Premier League medal with Chelsea after he lost the Istanbul final with Milan. He was that close to quitting football early. He goes, it was going to take something very special for me to get my motivation back. And thankfully, at Chelsea, it happened. And I'm sure you guys can guess who was the manager at Chelsea when he did take that accolade and decide that a second stint at Inter is the way forward. His second stint at Inter is where my love for him blossomed. When he first started at Inter, and I can't believe we've sidetracked this far now, but I don't care. Hernan is one of my favorites of all time. His first start at Inter wasn't great, highly inconsistent, although he wore beautiful jerseys at that time there. But we will definitely be doing a fantastic piece of content for Hernan Crespo, and I can't wait to present it on this channel. Let's go to some comments because we are wrapping up here in the next 5 minutes, and I encourage everyone to just do me one solid if possible. Head over to the link in the description right now, Devils Down Under, and you can watch me whinge about Manchester United. I would appreciate any of the support over there. Bruno says, realistically speaking, a 1-0 Hakan penalty. Hey, bro, kickoff's at 4 a.m. and I fully expect myself to not be able to wake up until at least 5:30, 5:40. So if that's how it's going to end, let's do it. Let's do it. But I would love nothing more than to wake up and see a 2-goal lead or more with about 20 minutes left and going, yeah, man, either we've got the 3 points or I'm going to quickly gear us on Sportsbet and they can pay every utility bill under the sun for this month. But it's not going to happen, Bruno. You know why? Because Inter gets 3 points, brother. Inter gets it, my brother, my fratello from the 2557. A win is the only option. Anything short is not good enough, 100%. This is one of those derbies where if you walk away with a draw and you go, oh, well, it's a derby, it was a tough game, anything can happen. F that. We are the champs. We're trying to set a high standard. We qualified for the top 8 of the Champions League. And this is where you get to a point where you're no longer trying to anti-jinx because you would be lying so hard to yourself. You would be lying so hard to the people in front of you. I'm looking at you now. I'm looking directly at the camera, and I don't usually look directly at the camera. Stop lying to yourselves. Except Mattia, we need you to keep anti-jinxing to the moon and back. Keep it up. We need you. Stop lying to yourselves. I'm no longer lying to myself. Inter needs to win this derby because if they don't, it's not good enough. Look, I'll even give you the Uncle Sharma point. Inter needs to win this derby. Inter needs to win this derby. Not just winning. I want to leave the stadium with the Milan fans booing. I want them to leave with their shriveled manhood stuck between their legs. I want this to be another 5-1, and I want it to hurt even more. I want it to hurt even more, bruv. Even more. Draw at best. Congratulations to Napoli. Keep it up, bro. I need all the anti-jinxing in the world because I'm not really doing it that much anymore. I'm not doing it that much. I'll probably do a no thanks at some point today just for shits and giggles because we have to do it. But still, Zalewski can work under Inzaghi, speaks Italian, and Serie A ask proven. Hey, big up Bruno for ordering those. We've got something exciting to show the channel soon. We might have something sooner than people in Milan do. And if that's the case, we are way ahead of the game. This guy is still at the club. What about that Suzik guy? No update whatsoever. Yeah, no updates from that man. Just the fact that we lost 2 consecutive derbies to those C words. Love it. I'm sure the boys will be fired up for this one. I have no doubt the boys in the locker room are literally looking at each other in the eyes going, yo, we're dying tomorrow, yeah? We would rather die than not beat these C words. We would rather die. I hope that that's the case because that should be the case. What's up, Mossab? Good to see you, Mossab, my guy. I don't think I've come as close to wishing injury upon as a player. Yeah, we don't usually wish injuries upon people because as good people, you never wish physical pain. I wish suffering. I wish that Theo Hernandez gets drunk one night and says something stupid to someone. I hope that Theo Hernandez gets caught cheating on his wife. I hope, well, that's really mean. But no, I hope he does. I hope Theo Hernandez's character comes back to bite him in the ass, and I'm sure it would. Not a Prem guy, but I subbed. I appreciate that, man. I really, really do. You don't have to stick around if you don't want to on the channel, but I appreciate the support. If he starts, I doubt Hakan is fit enough to play 90. The thing is, guys, I know it's Milan, and I know that losing Hakan is huge, but if sending Hakan in at 70% means that he might miss games going forward, don't do it. Don't do it. Start him on the bench. Bring him on if we really need it. Not going to lie, this is the first derby this season I'm confident for. I was confident for the first one, but not really confident. I was confident in a sense that before the first one, I was like, we should win, but anything can happen. It wouldn't surprise me if we lose. That was my level of confidence for the first one. Level of confidence for the second one. Fuck, they are so bad compared to us, but they might have a new manager bounce. Look, we are much better, and we already lost one this season, and there's a trophy on the line. We will win this Super Coppa. I don't care what anybody says. Next to the Bologna result under Inzaghi's first season, that's probably the most disappointing result. The Super Coppa to Milan. It's way more disappointing than the Atletico Madrid elimination. People say that wasn't as bad as the Atletico elimination. Bro, when we got eliminated to Atletico, you can go back and look at my match reaction. I'm smiling at Cronulla Beach going, yo, bin this. I know the Champions League is important, but guess what? You're about to be a champion of Italy in a few months. Allow it. Allow it. Sometimes it has to happen. Inter has never been a club that fights on all fronts except for once in our history. Really? Once in our history. Lautaro, we need you now more than ever. We need you now more than ever, my guy. Fired up. Let's go. I'm very fired up too, man. I'm very fired up too. Do me a favor. I'm enjoying this stream so far. And I'm going to need to take a quick 5-minute gap in between I do my next one. And I've booked my next one for 9 minutes from now. That's not going to suffice. Let's reschedule the Manchester United stream for an extra 15 minutes. So 25 minutes from now. Gives me a bit more time to enjoy this stream with my real community properly. Black and blue till I die. Tim is convinced it'll be 1-4 for us. That would be absolutely brilliant. My brother Matt Pickham is in the house. I'm wishing all the best to you, your wife, and your kid. Need another hat trick from Lautaro. I want him to be the top scorer in the league if he can. He still needs a bit of catching up to do, but if he continues the form he's on here, he has a good chance to do it. Retegi missed 2 penalties today, I'm hearing. I haven't watched those highlights yet. I hate Teo more than Chiellini or even Bonucci. Look, for the record, man, I love Giorgio Chiellini. I would never dislike Giorgio Chiellini. There are certain players in the world that play for your rivals that don't end up falling into the hatred bracket. Chiellini is one of them for me, as is Pirlo, as is Del Piero. As is Maldini, as is Nesta. There are a few players that fall in that bracket for me, especially if they wear La Nazionale, if they wear the national team jersey, if they wear the national team kit and they wear it with pride and they contribute to the success of the Azzurri, I'll always be indebted to them. Giorgio Chiellini won that Euro all on his own. It's that sort of leadership and presence that win tournaments. And his parting act as Juve captain was being the last player on the pitch to applaud us as we were getting our trophy. Stood there by himself in that Super Coppa. By himself. No players, no staff around him. By himself to clap for us. It was the official changing of the guard. I did an awesome podcast with... don't tell me I've forgotten his name. That's actually embarrassing. That would be absolutely embarrassing. Richard Hall. Thank God I remembered that last second. I heard the name Richard in my head. Richard Hall, I did an awesome podcast. I think it might have been on the old Inter Worldwide channel when we did win the Super Coppa. No, I think it might have been on the new one, actually. I don't know. When we did win the Super Coppa, I did a podcast episode with Richard Hall, and he brought it up. He said it, and that sentence has stuck with me since. Like, you really felt like that the last-minute goal for Alexis Sanchez against Juve in the Super Coppa was a changing of the guard moment where we ended up in the hot seat of dominance. And Giorgio Chiellini, I think he felt like that as well. Because just quietly, when leaders leave anything, whether it's a club, a company, a family, when leaders leave, seeing the next generation or the next leader or the next crop not measure up to them, there's always a passionate part of their ego that likes it. We are human beings at the end of the day. When Giorgio Chiellini is clapping for Inter as we win the Super Coppa and our players notice it, so a few of our players walk up to him and give him the good old Grande Giorgio, he knows. He knows that, fuck, man, what I'm leaving behind is got nothing to do with the DNA that I have. This ain't no Juve behind me. This ain't no Juve in front of me. The Juve I know is behind me, and he's sitting there and clapping us off. So, yeah, Chiellini will never be in that bracket for me because the way he won that Euro all on his own, is just poetic. I hope that Jimenez brother regrets signing for them in less than 24 hours. If they're smart, they don't play him in this game, but they have got nobody else. Lautaro is back in form, and that's all that matters. And he's a certified Milan man. He is. The first one I can understand, our players still not at their peak fitness. The Super Coppa defeat still stings. It stings us all, and I'm sure it still stings our boys because they have been better since that game. You see that snakes. Oh, bro, how fucking funny is the downfall of Milan Skriniar? How funny is the downfall of Milan Skriniar? Bro, what an absolute piece of crap that guy is. He's a piece of crap. He's a piece of crap. I don't care what anybody says. He's absolutely awful. He's absolutely awful at dictating his career going forward. And he needs to be embarrassed. And the moment he left this club is the moment that his career basically ended. He went to Paris, blinked, and Neymar was gone. Messi was gone. Mbappe was gone. He was missing starts. He was getting benched for every makeshift centre-back and even fullbacks at one point. And now he's off to play for the second best team in Turkey, who won't win a trophy this season. And now he's got someone like Mourinho telling him what to do, which I'm sure will be nice to an extent. But guess what? Guess what? I don't know. Now, this is so interesting, bro. This is so interesting. Do you think that there's a clause? Do you think that there's a clause in this contract that prevents him from playing against Feyenoord? It would make sense. Like, imagine he signs for them and within a week and a half has buried them out of Europe. There's no amount of money in the world that can compensate for losing that Champions League spot. There's not 45 million. You'd make 10 to 12.5 million of that back straight away if you qualified for the next round anyway. Crazy. There might be a clause in that contract where he cannot play those Champions League games, and all will be revealed once the official announcement from the clubs come. All we've got now are photos of him in transit and Fabrizio Romano's semi-official go-ahead. Let me just type this in one more time. Jimenez to Milan official. It's being reported by Romano, by Transfer Market, by beIN Sports, and by major news outlets out of every country. This isn't 101% official yet. We are at the 98% official stage. So unless a medical screws up or unless Fenerbahce literally call him at the airport and go, we have changed our mind, come back, you're not doing it, and we will hold you hostage. That's the only way this ends now. So Jimenez to Milan, definitely happening. Whether or not he plays in the Champions League, not too sure yet. I have a feeling we will pump them 4-0. This will be a statement win, and it will send a message to the rest of the league that we still mean business. My brother picking out what matters. Thank you, bro. I'm glad you taught everybody a lesson. I'm glad that you, put a few bodies in the trunk of your car, a couple of bricks of white powder as well, a couple of semi-automatics. Let me know if you can get them across the Australian border. But yeah, big up to Mattia for convincing everyone that he's taking some sort of pottery cooking class when I know the real deal. Don Matteo teaching lessons. Yeah. Completely legal lessons. Are you worried about the Jimenez signing, or do you think he's not going to do that? But at the end of the day, they're out of the title race already this season. There's nothing Milan that can do that can hurt us. If he wants to establish himself there, more power to them. We've seen Ibra come and go. We've seen Giroud come and go. We've seen Morata come and go. I think Leao's on his way out. I don't think Jimenez impresses as much as he's capable of because he's not in a systematic structure that allows him to. I don't think the culture at the club is very positive. I think Kostensau as a manager is doing more good than harm, but at the same time, he's an old school manager with a modern day group of athletes that are going to be like, oh, this guy yells a lot. This guy wants to win more than he wants to have fun. Isn't it all about having fun? Piss off. It's never about having fun. Fun is the most overrated thing on planet Earth. Don't forget to like the video or subscribe, or I'll send family members after you. You heard him. You heard the Balkan Don in the house. All right, guys. That'll pretty much be it, except for predictions and probabiliformazione. Let's go. Jan Sommer at the back, who, by the way, will most likely end up with a contract extension soon. Let me just check his current contract. Sommer Inter contract runs out in June 2026. Oh, perfect. No need for an extension. No need for an extension this season or at the end of this season. We will wait until this time next season to decide if Sommer gets an increase. So if Jan Sommer has kept up his form at this point next season, you can probably expect him to get an increase. And as of right now, I am okay with it. Keep your eyes peeled and your ears open just in case he decides to enter the junior years of Samir Handanovic, in which case I will start calling for his axing the same way I was calling for Handanovic's axing 4 years before it happened. Yeah, the very first podcasts I ever did on my old channel, which are audio only, which for the likes of Mario Galliano, the likes of Alessandro, the likes of Ian Kerr, these sort of brothers, at the likes of Bruno, where basically I would occupy 15 minutes of airtime with Christian Rivas and start saying, but Handanovic is shit. He is crap. I cannot tell you now how badly he has deteriorated reflex-wise over the last few years. Hopefully that's not the case with Sommer, because characteristically he and Handanovic are very similar goalkeepers in terms of where their main characteristics come from. That's enough about Sommer. Wow. Benji, let me go through everyone detailed. Why not? I love this community. I love the fact that I've been here for an hour and there's still 32 people here. So like the video, subscribe if you are new, head over to my other channel, Devils Down Under, because in 15 minutes I'll be there talking about Trashford, PR Ashford. My God. Having Benji Pavard back in this sort of form is exactly what we need. Big up to Bisek for holding down that role. Bisek has been asked to do a lot more this season than what was expected of him. And like I said, I think it might have been on the Sharma channel, not yesterday, the day before. I said that Bisek is good enough to start as a right centre-back if an experienced Kane Pavard was to start at central centre-back and Bastoni left centre-back. I'd be confident if Bisek was to start against those two consistently every single game, he's more than good enough. The problem is that Bisek is still being made to rotate makeshift, whether it's in the center, whether it's at the right, whether it's next to De Vrij one day, Acerbi the next day, Pavard the next day. It is only going to be good enough for Bisek at this age and experience if he has the continuity. While Pavard's there, he's still the guy. And next season, like I previously mentioned, ideally going forward, you start with Bastoni and Pavard and Bisek. But with De Vrij having the season he's having, we're going to end up going into next season with De Vrij as the main centre-back, Pavard and Bastoni either way. Pavard played the last couple of games that we knew would be good. I love the fact that he made this challenge or this tackle in like the 30th minute, 40th minute. We were already up 2 goals with a red card in hand. And he's celebrating a tackle like it's a last-minute challenge in extra time and we're only up by a goal and we're about to win a trophy. He makes this challenge that results in a goal kick and he's like, yes, come on. No one's even around him. All of our players have already turned around to face the other way to continue with the game. Benji Pavard, like, world-class player on his day, world-class mentality all the time. And that's what we need. De Vrij and Bastoni. Bastoni, for me, low-key, best player of the season. Best player of the season. I know Barella's had a world-class season. I know Thuram has been brilliant. I know Toro, when he's in form, is our main guy. Denzel Dumfries has had a fantastic season. So has Federico Di Marco. But for me, I'm starting to ask myself the question, who's the one guy you can't pull out of the starting lineup or else it actually crumbles like a house of cards? Who's the one guy you pull out of this starting lineup and it crumbles like a house of cards? It's not Nico. We can still win without Nico. It'll be 65% harder, but we still can. Is it Lautaro? It'll be 60% harder to win without Lautaro, but we still can. Is it Thuram? It'll be 55% harder to win without Thuram, but we still can. Is it Di Marco? It'll be 50% harder, but we still can. You take Bastoni out of that position, holy shit. I absolutely drop my nuts. And as good as Carlos Augusto is at coming in to replace him slightly, no, Mattia, we still can. We still can. Only just, but we still can. But only just. And sometimes not. With Bastoni, I am convinced if he was to suffer an injury that, say, kept him out for six games, you drop 3 of those games, and I'm convinced of it. Not maybe. You drop half your games without Bastoni there. He's not just a left center back. He's the main screw in this mechanism. He's the main nut and bolt in this piece of equipment. You take him out, everything else starts to clunk. Everything else starts to clunk. Bastoni is the guy. The guy. Comments, and then we talk about the midfield. Man, they're popping today. I got to scroll up every single time. Every single time. Milan's Mercato is a joke. Morata gone after 6 months. Looks like a great squad building. They're not building shit. Calabria and Morata bro, suck shit to Calabria walking out crying, bro. That's what you get for being an absolute grub in that last derby of the season. No sympathy here because Constançao wants to rip their heads off for being dog shit. Yeah, bro, this is what I'm saying. If all of these players could get behind Constançao, then I'd start to speak up and go, oh, we might have a problem on our hands next season. These guys are weak. This Milan side that Pioli and Ibra carried and then left in the dust are weak as piss. They ain't got someone like Maldini to keep the culture in the club. They ain't got it. Thoughts of the best team of Champions League, no Zoma or Inter defender with 1 goal conceded. This is why I don't pay attention to these Champions League bullshit, Ballon d'Or bullshit. I know it's all a hoax. In fact, one video I'm going to do for this channel soon is the absolute bullshit that was the Ballon d'Or in 2009-10. And guess what? It's not about how Schneider didn't win it because Schneider still ended up on the podium in the top 3. So I can forgive him not getting it. You know what I can't forgive? A certain someone didn't end up in the 22-man shortlist. A certain someone didn't end up on the shortlist to the point where Sir Alex Ferguson at the actual gala got on the microphone and went, "Where's this guy? What happened to this guy?" That's him chewing his gum. Calma. We have Josep Martinez to take Zoma's spot. Yeah, I'm not confident about that. Zalewski official today. Could be a late inclusion to the squad. Guessing he can't. Apparently, he can be included in the derby squad. I would put him on the bench, but I would be telling him, unless for some really weird reason, you're not coming on. Because Augusto comes on before you. Damian comes on before you in this situation. You just got off a flight this morning. This is a big game. I'd be putting Damian across the entire park before I put him in. If Dumfries needs out, Damian in. Pavard needs out, Damian in. Bastoni out, Augusto back, Di Marco out, Damian in. And that's what Damian's still good for. However, we need to get to the end of this season and start talking and tell Acerbi and Damian, there's the door. If you need to go, go. Let's just have a look at their contracts for a second. Acerbi's contract is at the end of June 2026. Okay, and Darmian is until the end of this season. Ideally, it should be the other way around. We should preferably have Acerbi till the end of this season, Darmian to the end of next. If we can get Acerbi out of here, he'll probably retire. You got a little bit of wage cap being saved there. Maybe you extend Darmian by 1 season. I don't know. Precursor. If Darmian is not extended, we will do an entire 2-hour stream dedicated to his time at Inter. Every goal, every impact. And you know what? I might just buy a fake jersey with his name on the back. Why not? Rashford, I only owe Rashbon. I don't even know what that is, man. Hello, Rosemary. It's very, very nice to see you again. Thanks for always coming by the channel and thanks for the compliments. I don't know what you're talking about. Can't wait for the game tomorrow. I can definitely wait as the nerves are starting to kick in. We have got 40 people on Inter Worldwide right now. 40 people. 40 people. I'm going to head off, though, in the next few minutes because I really, really, really need to think about starting this next stream. And I really hope that people stick around with me for it. But if there's this many people sticking around and we're still talking, I might just even delay the other stream again. Although I do fear all 3.5 of my active subscribers on the other channel might get pissed off with me being late. All 3 of them. Let me see what else is going on. All right, anyway, let's go back to the formation. You can't bench the best right wing back in Serie A, that's for sure. That's what Denzel Dumfries is. Nico Barella, a.k.a. the best player in the world, the love child of Zinedine Zidane, Pele, Maradona, everybody, even the best midfielders in the world. Like, you could combine Edgar Davids' ability with Clarence Seedorf, Tony Kroos, and yeah, you know what? Throw Rui Costa in there as well for all I care, and all of them wouldn't match up to what Nico Barella is all around. All around. For me, it's Hakan. Aslani is no good. Bastoni is very important too, not disagreeing. Yeah, look, I could probably put my hand up and go, Hakan and Bastoni are the only 2 ones that you plug out of our wall, the gyprock starts to crack. And crack big to the point where you're like, no, this is all going to come down in a second. You can't patch over this. You can patch over Nico. You can patch over Fede. You can patch over Marcus. You can patch over Lauti. You can't patch Hakan and Bastor. You really can't. And you really can't patch Bastor. I'm so sorry. 100% agree, but Augusto is doing very well. And this is what I said at the start of the stream, and make sure you guys are commenting on this if you watch it back later. There's levels of credibility that go into this Zalewski transfer. You're not bringing in Zalewski unless Augusto has shown you that, you're not just the DeMarco backup. You can back up Bastoni. And because of that, let's get Buchanan out of here. And for the same amount of money, let's actually get a proper replacement going forward. Very happy with the Zalewski deal. Barella, Hakan, Mickey as the starting midfield. Me personally, I don't expect Hakan to start. I expect Zielinski to be in that position. DiMarco, obviously, to occupy his spot. Thuram and Lautaro, the most dynamic strike force in Serie A. Let's hope that they both get on the score sheet. Let's hope that they both get on the score sheet. No, Carlos cannot do Bastoni's role just fine. He can do Bastoni's role for half an hour against bigger sides. He can do Bastoni's role against Lecce, against Empoli, against Cagliari, against Sparta Praha. Indro, for God's sake, do not think for a second that Augusto is anything like Bastoni for 90 minutes. If he is, the next time you watch Inter, just only watch Bastoni and watch what he does. Watch the position he ends up in. I know you're smart, Indro. I know you know what I mean. When it comes down to how all of our players play out of position regularly, the link up on that left-hand side with DiMarco and the fact that we interchange our midfield to drop back if Bastoni gets forward, there is no Bastoni replacement in world football at the moment for what he does systematically for Inzaghi and Inter. It's so easy on paper to write down, oh, that guy's got the characteristics of a good left centre-back. He can replace him. Nah. Don't think for a second that plugging the Bastoni hole in this lineup is easy. It's the toughest one of the lot, in my opinion. Niek. Club kids leaving is a very bad sign always. Calabria is the start of something bad there. Yeah, the bad thing started with Maldini. That's when it started. This is just the ripe pieces of fruit falling off the tree now. Yeah, we got no PR whatsoever. If they allow that American 5-foot bum to turn up against us again, he's not a bum, though. That's the problem. He's actually pretty good. He's actually pretty good. You think Donnarumma will replace Summer? Yeah, I think that could happen as well. We could be on there. We could be on for something there. Let me just delay my other stream by an extra 10 minutes, and then I promise I need to head off, guys. I can't stick around here much longer. Otherwise, my entire Sunday is going to fall backwards. But that's fine. I've still got more other content to do. Thank you very much, Niek. It's called Devils Down Under. I've linked it in the description again. It's all about the team that most people in the world hate more than any other. Gonna sleep now. It's 2:07 a.m. here. Big up to you. Really need to be fit for tomorrow. Go and get some sleep, bro. Sleep, the most important thing in the whole world. Bastoni is immense this season. I can agree, but it's Hakan. Yeah. In saying that, if Barella was to leave, then it would break my heart. Correct. Matt Pickham, speaking my brain. The player that would give me the worst feeling about leaving is Barella, because over the years, you can't replace him. You can't replace that. That would be harder to replace long-term than Bastoni. But guys, Bastoni, Barella, DiMarco, it's the 2nd of February, 2025. If I'm still doing content creation in the year 2030, I expect these men to still be in our club. If I'm still doing content in the year 2030, 5 years from now, those three gentlemen still play for this club. That's a dying breed. That's something unique to us. That's something you would not even get anywhere in the world apart from maybe Real Madrid. And that's not because that they're born into being Real Madrid fans. That's because Real Madrid is your dream job. There's nowhere else to go after that. Once you're the prime minister of the country, you don't really need another job after that, do you? Once you're the president of a club, you don't really need another job after that, do you? Once you play for Real Madrid, you don't really need another job after that, do you? You'd be very silly for wanting another job, which is why a lot of the time Real Madrid players, even though they're still good enough to play in Europe, take a massive dip in the club that they go to next because they've genuinely stopped giving a shit. In the most extreme situations, you end up like Toni Kroos, knowing that you'd probably have offers from both Manchester clubs, Chelsea, Arsenal, Juventus, Paris. You'd have offers spilling out of your ass. And what does he do? He actually retires from the game altogether. That's what you call a top G, like no other. Yeah, I know. Bastoni didn't get sick every 3 weeks this season. It's weird, bro. Barella is an absolute gem. Can't believe how much he's leveled up this season. I can believe it. I can believe it because he's the best footballer of all time. Of all time, Matt. You couldn't create a hybrid robot with the characteristics of all the best footballers of all time. All the best ballers of all time. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he sucks, all right. Sucks the life out of every other player to ever play the game. And Augusto is our best substitute. That tells you how good Bastoni has become. Absolutely. Well said. Well said. Calma about Bastoni. Could Barsi exist? No. Redefining the game according to I get you. Yeah, bro. Playing for Barcelona, you're automatically the best in your position in the world, aren't you? Yeah. Figo settings, yeah, but it'll be our gain. If he comes for free, trust the Marotta process there. Trust the Beppe process altogether, and even trust the process as he leaves, because when his contract is up in 2027, he would have been with us for so long that the fruits of his labor and hard work, and hopefully his connections as well, can be passed on to the likes of Zanetti, Auxilio, and co. This was a fantastic stream. This was a 10 out of 10 stream. We've still got over 30 people here right now, which is brilliant. Everyone needs to like the video. Everyone who is new needs to subscribe. Anyone who watches needs to leave a comment. Even if you leave a comment saying, hey, Anthony, you have a big forehead, I don't care. Leave one. Leave one. And if I can ask for the smallest other favor, head over to Devils Down Under, where I will be live in 10 minutes time to talk all about the disgraceful situation that is Manchester United Football Club. To trash PR Rashford a little bit more than anybody else. And to make sure that everybody knows that no matter how much money you spend, you can't fix anything. That was uncalled for, bro. That was uncalled for. Uncalled for, cuz. Love it, bro. Love it, Giro. Some of the best memories of my life are two euro gyros in Mykonos in Greece. Where else in the world can you eat for $2, $3 a day and still be full? Actually, there are a few places, to be honest, but man, I miss eating gyro in Greece. I really do. Predictions for the derby. Predictions from the derby. 2 predictions as usual. Real one and then anti-jinx one. And then if I remember later today, big no thanks. Big no thanks. Big no thanks. Predictions for the derby. 3-0 to Inter. That's my real prediction. Anthony, usual anti-jinx prediction. 1-1. And we have 70% possession and miss all the chances in the world. And we walk out of there feeling like a draw is a loss. MMAA, make Milan ass again. Ciao to the Juve Cornercast. Gio, go over to the Juve Cornercast and subscribe if you are new. We've got 32 people here right now. So I expect one of you to subscribe to Juve Cornercast. There's 33 people here right now. One of you can go over to Gio and subscribe to Juve Cornercast, please. Support the content creators, even if they do support the most disgraceful club on the planet. Sorry, guys. I'm just in a mood lately with you guys because I'm just going to say it, Gio. Giuntoli has carved his own asshole with his behavior. The whole Giuntoli. I'm not going to hate on Thiago Motta. I don't think it's all his fault, but I know a lot of Aussie Juventini that have got a vendetta against Marotta. I call it ex-girlfriend syndrome. A lot of people in your club have got ex-girlfriend syndrome about Marotta to the point where every time a director has done something going forward, and this is not you because, you know, you're a content creator with half a brain, you wouldn't put yourself on a pedestal like this. When Paratici was there, Paratici was the best thing since sliced bread. He sucked. Then Cherubini came in and he was the best thing since raisin toast. He was even worse. And when Giuntoli signed, oh my God, the pedestal that some of your fans put him on without realizing that he was just one director out of a group of directors at Napoli. And by the way, Giuntoli was never the scout. Giuntoli was never the talent ID at Napoli. Something a lot of your fans didn't explain when he signed. He's a negotiator. He's more of an inside businessman. But you brought him into Juve and asked him to do things outside of his job role, which is why he is tanking his ass and why you now need to go through a rebuild within a rebuild. It's rebuildception at Juve. I find it comical and hilarious, but I also got the shits the other day because I was trying to tell one of your fans what was going on, and all they could say back was, look, I'm listening to an Inter fan. It's easy to talk when you're at the Cop. And I basically said, Buster, bro, it's fucking embarrassing when an Inter fan respects your club more than you do and is pointing out what you guys need to do to succeed. And Giuntoli is a bum. He's an absolute bum. Oh my days, bro. He is gutting that club from within. He had since October to sort your defense out. And anyone who says, oh, you can't anticipate injuries, how the fuck can you not anticipate injuries? Juve's playing arguably 12 more competition games this season than you did last season. Players are playing more football this season than they ever have. Can't anticipate injuries. Injuries should be a part of the bloody blueprint. Injuries should be one of the first dot points on the business plan. I didn't want to turn this into a Juve roast, but Gio's such a good guy. He's probably sitting there behind his screen doing this right now. What am I going to say? What am I going to say? Because like I said before, Gio, if this was happening at any other club in Italy, there'd be a 30-page spread across Tutto Shit and Corriere della Merda that they're struggling. But it's not. You guys will always get 10 to 15 extra opportunities to everybody else before you are painted as incompetent. And it will happen. It will happen. Lloyd Kelly isn't a bad player, but he's not going to do well enough for you guys. And that's a proper scramble. 15 million to 16 million on a Newcastle reserve on deadline day. It's a botch job, man. It's a complete botch of a rebuild. And you know what? These players might perform well. Good on them. Vega might do well. But expensive loans with no options. Hey, man, even if Vega does do well, you don't even have first right of redemption. You're botching the cost and sale situation as we talk about it because there's no win for Juve there. Either he performs slightly good enough that you need to splash 30 mil on Coste Sal, the guy that doesn't know how to look up when he dribbles. Decent player, not good enough for Juve. Are you going to be in a position where you drop 30 mil on him the way you did with Nico Gonzalez? Once again, not a bad player, but once again, nowhere near good enough for Juve. Sorry, I didn't mean to go into that. Just don't ever open the door for me to trash that club because I'll go on forever. I was watching Inter 4-4 Palermo when Melito scored 3 and Miccoli. Yeah, that was crazy, bro. That was probably one of our worst games I've ever seen, to be honest. Danso was good, but at the same time, at this point of the market, they were asking something like 25 mil for Danso. And that's a joke, bro. You can't be paying that sort of money for that sort of centre-back. He's just not good enough. For sure, our management screwed up by the summer mercato by signing Emerson and Morata. Cost Sal wants mentally strong players who will buy in and show the door. Well done. Well said, guys. Guys, I would love to stick around and chat a lot more, but if I don't go over to my second channel now, I'm not even going to do any content with that. I hope you're all willing to stick around over the next few weeks because, like I said, different content coming to the channel rather than just reactive content, proactive content, some stuff on some legends, some stuff on some older stuff, some retro stuff, maybe a little bit of FIFA, some PlayStation as well. I'll see how I can sort myself out. Thank you so much we had a high of 36 people here. This made me very happy, this live. I'm actually going to go through and thank you all one by one because without doing that, there's no, I'd like to do that. Thank you, Boca. Thank you, Balkan Warrior. Thank you to my main man, Mattia. Paolo from Milano. Thank you very much to Nix Knox. Thank you so much to Danny. Thank you to Darianne. Thank you to King Peanut. Thank you to Joe from New York. Thank you to Jamie. Thank you very much to Epic Win as well. Thank you to my Balkan Warrior. Thank you, Rocky Masab. Thank you, Bruno, my G. Tim was here. Matt Pickham was here. Indra Hari was here as well. Thank you very much to Thomas. Thank you very much to, I think that might be it from what I can see so far as well. Thank you, Forza Inter, for coming through. Thank you, Rosemary. Always love your stuff. Anthony as well. LaFleur, thank you for all the support you give to not only me, but all the content creators. I see you out there leading the cultural fan sphere in full effect. Thank you to Niek. I really appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing to my new channel, Niek, as well. I appreciate that. And to anybody else that did. Thank you to Gio at the Juve Cornercast. Make sure you check him out. Great content, and I love how young you are starting out, bro. I wish I started out a little bit younger, but big up to you, Gio, bro. Keep doing your thing. And yeah, to everybody else, Forza Inter worldwide. I'll see you guys on